hello there, and welcome. It is a beautiful Wednesday, and Toronto finally got snow last week. It felt like Christmas overnight. For those of you in this area or that have recently gotten snow, I'm sure you can feel a shift because the pace is changing, the energy is changing. And on today's Lunch and Learn, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about priming your brain for peak performance and a powerful 2026. And honestly, I did some goal setting and I did some 2026 planning a few weeks ago, probably even a few months ago at this point. And it didn't connect. Like usually I get really excited about the new year. I really get excited about planning things. But this year for me, I went through the motions and I did not connect in my heart, in my soul, in my energy. However, as soon as I saw that snow coming, something started to shift. Now, American Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Black Friday that madness is about to hit, and the holiday season is officially going to start within the next couple of weeks. Now, this is the time of year where things might start to wind down for some people, but other kind of stress starts to ramp up. There's more to-dos, more crazy emotions, all kinds of expectations. And right now is the time where it matters most to get really, really intentional, because how you prime yourself, how you prime your brain, your focus, and your energy is going to essentially determine how you close out this year and how you launch it into 2026. And I want to show you a simple way, a simple thing you can do to activate your brain's success pathways each and every day. And I'm going to show you some really simple and clear tools and strategies you can use to do this. Now, what I want to talk about today, we're going to look at the best time of day to access your neurological power window so you can actually stay centered and scattered, and you can get the most ROI on the work that you're doing. I'm going to show you how to rewire your mind for consistency, for confidence, and basically to make success automatic. We're going to look at tapping into collective momentum and how to use that to amplify yourself, your accountability, and keep yourself plugged in long term. And I'm going to give you some really simple, like 5-minute or less things that you can incorporate starting tomorrow. You can even do some of them today to help you feel more grounded, more in control, and more effective. So if you love everything that you're going to hear about today, we're going to be running a masterclass in the next couple of weeks that will allow you to go even deeper. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a sec. So before I tell you all of this wonderful stuff, I know that some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Larissa McCook. I'm Canada's leading abundance mentor and author of Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, Discover the Secrets to More Time, Money, and Freedom. And I run Abundance Academy. I'm CEO and the lead mentor at Abundance Academy, where we work with professional women to elevate their mindset, be at their best, and their businesses. So every single week on these lunches, we unpack science and strategy behind human potential, how to think better, how to feel better, how to live better in a way that's really practical, really personal, and so deeply aligned with not who you are, but who you're also becoming. So my passion is for helping women to break free from these cycles of busyness and burnout and this it's coming, it's almost there mentality, and to create clarity, confidence, success, and calm from the inside out. So let's take a look at this. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Now, the best time of day to access your brain's power window is, when is it? When is it? Okay, you're going to love this one. If you heard me talk, you're not going to be surprised. So let's just talk about this neurological power window. You and your brain have this built-in neurological power window. It is a really short but incredibly potent period right after you wake up. So that little period right after you wake up, it's actually called the cortisol awakening response. And it happens in the first 30 to 45 minutes of your morning. And so during this time, what happens is your brain, it floods your entire system with cortisol, not the bad kind that we associate with stress. Okay. You probably heard like, oh, reduce your cortisol. Yes. However, cortisol is really important to actually activate alertness, focus, and readiness, which is what most of us need in the morning. And it does not have to happen with coffee. Okay. Okay. A lot of us are like, oh, I need coffee to function. No, if you actually leverage these tools, they will work for you. Now, this initial surge is your body's natural way of saying, hey, it's go time. And it's when your prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain responsible for decision making, planning, goal pursuit, is actually most receptive to programming. So if you spend that window reacting and you like pull out your phone and you scroll and you check Instagram, check out a few reels, whatever it is, check your email, you are diving into chaos and you're literally wiring stress and distraction into your day. But if you spend that time intentionally, if you spend the time focusing your mind, practicing gratitude, visualizing the things that matter most, you literally rewire your brain for calm, for clarity, and for control. And this is why I call mornings magical. It's not just about coffee and productivity, it's really about harnessing the brain's natural chemistry to create alignment before the world starts pulling at you. Okay, so really, really important. So I want you to start paying attention to that very first window in your day. You want to just really start being mindful of how you use it. Now, one of the things I want to preface this with is sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, the window's so hard. I can't do it. I can't function. I'm barely awake. Well, you actually need to go to bed at a decent time, get enough rest so that you can wake up and make the most of this time. You don't want to like force yourself up and be a basket case. Make sure you do the math, pull out a calculator if you need, use your fingers. I love using my fingers for math. But if you want to wake up, let's say at 5 o'clock or at 6 o'clock, and you know you need 8 hours of sleep. For most people, they need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I have trouble sleeping much more than 6.5, but 6.5 is my sweet spot. Um, so I can go with a little less periodically, but 6.5 is actually my sweet spot. Hard for me to sleep more than that. But when you know how much sleep you need, you can reverse engineer it and make sure you go to bed on time. Start setting go to bed alarms. Make sure you prime yourself for being able to get up. And that way, when the morning hits, you're not going to have to like snooze 10 times. You're not going to have to rely on coffee to get going. You can actually utilize this time in a powerful, powerful way. Okay. So you want to make the most of this really precious window to train your brain for success. So, second thing that I want to look at is why repetition and daily work actually change your brain. Okay, so repetition is required. You can't just do this once and think it's going to work. You have to do it every single day. So, one of the things that we actually did several years ago, about 4 years ago now, is I had clients that were doing mindset trainings and they were doing a good job, but they weren't getting as much success as I would have loved to have seen. And so I tell them, I'm like, okay, you guys need a morning routine. You need to do this, this, this. And I gave them the whole recipe, and a few of them did it. And those that did had wild success, but the rest did not. So what I started doing is I said, for 1 month, we are going to meet on Zoom, and I'm gonna gift you this as part of their program. I gifted it to them. And I'm going to show you what I do because I genuinely want you to be successful. I want you to get the same kind of magical experience I do. And most of the people that weren't studying on their own were able to click join now and show up. And what happened is after that first week, everyone's energy was radically different. After that first month, they were just like, my life is so far from where it was a month ago. Like, I can't stop doing this work. I love this work. I want to keep doing it. Larissa, you can never stop. So 4 years later, we're still doing these morning calls. They're amazing. But why do they work? Well, repetition and daily work are required to change your brain. They got results because they kept showing up every single day and they kept doing the things over and over and over again. So if you want to learn more about what we do specifically on my morning calls, I'm holding a masterclass, rewire your morning, reinvent your life. It's happening next week. So we've got 4 different days and times to choose from. Just mention morning in the chat and my team will get you the link to register. So it's absolutely free, but I'm going to give you like the recipe, the formula that I use for our morning calls. And we've got lots of great tools and resources that we gift at that class as well. So why does this repetition and daily work change your brain? Well, there's something called neuroplasticity. And this is basically when you have repeated mental acts that strengthen neural pathways. And so Dr. Joe Dispenza, he likes to say, what fires together, wires together. And so just like you would lift weights in a gym, you can actually increase your mental strength. You can increase that energetic strength, right? Mental practice can even increase strength. And so when you mentally rehearse something, it can actually impact your physical body. When you mentally rehearse something, it's almost like your brain has a chance to start working out the kinks in advance. And so when you start to go there, when you start to do the work on repetition, your body starts to see these things that might have once been dangerous, scary, uncommon, unfamiliar as just natural, easy, adaptable. They're just a part of who you are because you've done the work and you've trained these neural pathways to respond according to the way you desire. So I like to think of when you form a new neural pathway, if you look at we're going to carve a pattern of wood, and then you carve that same design again, that specific route that the taking is the neural pathway. And if you want to create a new neural pathway, you can do that. All you have to do is just start creating a new one. But the more you keep etching in that piece of wood, the stronger that neural pathway will get. And so your brain essentially adapts to what you repeatedly rehearse. And so habit formation is really important. It's important that you have dose and consistency. And sometimes when we are creating new habits, you might have heard it takes 21 days to create a habit. Other studies have shown it takes 66 days to create automaticity, or essentially a habit, that naturalness to make things automatic. But when you really look at some of the nuances, it depends on the habit. It depends on how familiar you are with it. It depends if it's a bigger thing, a little thing. Some habits you can form very quickly. Some other habits will actually take more effort, more time, and it might be longer than 66 days. Regardless, your job is to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until you just can't not do it. But that will help your brain start to change the way it's working. And when you start to be really intentional, okay, so let's say when you make these decisions, you can have something called implementation intentions. You're going to significantly raise the goal attainment across all of the things that you desire. If it's going to remove this friction and decision fatigue, if you say, okay, well, I have decided I'm going to do this, and my intention is to, let's say if it's 6:30 a.m., I'm going to sit, breathe 3 times, visualize my top win, and then write my top 3 goal achieving activities for the day. Okay, so if I see the clock hit 6:30, then this is what I'll do. And you create that in your mind, you set the standard, and you're going to be able to follow through because you've set the criteria very, very specifically. So you want to start being intentional, being super intentional with what you want to do. You want to keep doing it every single day so that you can strengthen those mental and even physical muscles to keep going for you. Now, one other thing that's really important that a lot of people do overlook is the power of accountability and the power of community. Now, here's the thing, people recruited with friends in behavior change programs will get better results. If you go to a weight loss program with a friend, you're probably going to lose more weight and maintain it better and last longer. Why? Because this social support, it helps improve adherence and outcomes. I've been in mastermind groups where there's a small cohort of us where we literally have sat on Zoom and just done work together. And at the beginning, we set our intentions. At the end, we reported on what we did in that hour. That community multiplied our results. Why? Because it wasn't just us we were working for, it was for everyone else as well. And so it's really important that you do find people that you can connect with and work with so that you can make those commitments to yourself, stick longer and show up better. This is one of the reasons that we've stuck with our morning success calls. Why? Because people would show up for their friends. People would show up to not just do things for themselves, but they really became invested in one another. People would make commitments. And you know what? When they made a commitment, they wanted to report on it and they wanted to let people know they held those commitments. And so community and accountability is a success insurance policy. These commitment strategies, absolute they set achievement in any area of life. And so you want to start really paying attention to that. If you genuinely want to prime yourself and your brain for peak performance, make it as easy as possible. Okay? Make it as easy as possible. Doing something with a buddy will just make you show up. People show up for personal trainers. Why? Because someone's waiting for them. And so this is absolutely critical. Make it as easy as possible for you to prime your brain for that peak performance and for a successful 2026. Now, I'm going to give you a few things. One of the things we do in the mornings, we actually meet for an hour together, and we have a very specific kind of routine that we go through. But if you don't have an hour, if you don't have a community yet, if you want to learn more, join us for our masterclass where I'll give you all the details and I'll walk you through it step by step. Just mention morning in the chat if you want to join us for the Rewire Your Morning, Reinvent Your Life masterclass. But even if you only have a few minutes, something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. You got to do this before you turn on your phone. So first and foremost, I would suggest you just hit the pause button and breathe. Breathe for 30 seconds. Breathe 5 or slow breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you do that, you're going to calm your nervous system down and create some mental space to actually be able to focus. Now, there are a couple of there's so many different things I can ask you to do, but what you might want to do is write an intention. If you look at your day and you set an intention, like what would you love to see, hear, feel, experience by the end of the day? And you can literally go through appointment by appointment in your day and visualize, go, boom, I see this happening. How do I know it's done? How do I know it's successful? Boom, I see this happening. How do I know it's done? How is it successful? Mentally rehearse each segment of your day. Or if there's one really juicy thing that you want to spend a little more time on, take a couple minutes and just go there and really dive deep. Think about what you see, what you hear, what you feel. Close your eyes and go within. And so mentally rehearse your day. Now, next, what you say or what you see is really important, but sometimes scripting is really powerful as well. So actually writing things down. And I'd love for you to write an intention. So after you look at your day and see it coming out perfectly, if you literally wrote an intention, like, how do I want to show up? Do I want to be focused? Do I want to be calm? Do I have follow through? My intention for today is, and just write it out. And I would repeat it 3 to 5 times, more if you have time. But write an intention and repeat it so that you know you're literally programming yourself for how you want to show up. So let's say maybe if you find that you hesitate, let's say, okay, well, today I don't want to hesitate. Okay. I want to say, if I sit at my desk for more than 2 minutes and hesitate, I'm going to do the first 2 minutes of whatever task I'm going to hesitate. I'm putting off. And I won't commit to more, but I'm going to do the first 2 minutes and see how it goes. And you're probably going to be much more successful. Okay. So you want to really start looking at these in a strategic way, and make sure that you know what the biggest needle movers are in your world. So finally, you see the things that you've got scheduled, you've seen those things mentally rehearsed, you've scripted it out. I want you to make sure that identify what the actual most important things are that you're going to do that day. So we do up to 6, but if you've got 3, that is a lot. And so what are the most important things? You might have a lot of meetings, you might have a lot of commitments, but if you only got these 3 things done, let's say the rest of your day went off the wall. If you only got these 3 things done, or even the first thing, or even the second thing done, what would those be? Really, really identify them clearly. It sounds so simple, but if you identify them and rank them in order of importance, that will be gold. So, just to recap, mornings essentially give you a neurochemical head start. Use them. Use them, use them, use them. Get up early, and the first part of your day, invest in yourself. Now, repeat, repeat, repeat. Don't just invest in yourself once. Come back every day and practice this act of being with yourself in the very early hours of the morning. Plug into community or accountability so you can help achieve your results, and create a bit of a routine that you can use during this time. So I've given you some suggestions. It could be as little as 5 minutes, it could be as much as 30. There's so much more we could talk about, but bare bones basics, this will at least get your brain into conditioning mode. So do it, do it, do it. And if you want to learn more, if this stuff has resonated with you and you want to learn more about the structure of our morning calls and how we make this kind of work come alive, join my Rewire Your Morning, Reinvent Your Life masterclass. And I'm going to literally show you how to build your personal morning system. I'm going to give you some templates so you can stop winging it. We've got some really great and fun tools and resources that we're going to share that we don't share in a lot of other trainings. And you're also going to have community and accountability in this program so you can actually start to follow through that day. Now, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you want to join us, just mention morning in the chat and my team will make sure that you get access. There may be a link in the description of this video by the time I'm done this live. I don't know, but there might be. So check it out and join us, join us, join us. So I hope that the snow that you've seen, if you have snow in your area, has made you feel like, okay, 2026 is something I want to take seriously, because I know that's definitely what it's done for me. Like the second I saw that snow, I was just like, wow, this is a really powerful time. I just want to retreat. I just want to go within. I want to plan. I want to get even more excited about what's to come. Because what you do today is going to dictate your success tomorrow. What you do tomorrow morning is going to make the rest of your day inevitable. So start small. Do the things every single day and start to watch it compound. Register yourself for the Rewire Your Morning, Reinvent Your Life masterclass. I would love, love, love to see you there. Mention morning in the chat if you'd like to join us. And I will be back again next week with another fantastic topic. So bye for now.